Hello ladies and gentlemen, Sigvaldo here and welcome to yet another top 10. I have previously done this top 10, but since then another legendary has been added and some things changed around, and this top 10 really needed reviewing, and that's what I will do right now. In this video we will take a look at all the 8 legendary characters that we have in the game right now, and we will try to decide which is the best one, which is the worst one, and what is in the middle. So with that being said, like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, comment down below for any questions or any opinion about this top 10 that you might have. Top 8 actually, excuse me. Subscribe for more content like this, maybe hit that bell button, and let's get into it. Coming in at number 8, we are going to have Suicide Squad Harley Quinn, and she is a very good character at one thing and one thing only, and that thing is supporting the Suicide Squad team. And the problem with that is, like, there's no problem with that alone, but the thing is that the Suicide Squad team as a whole is more or less useless in raids and solo raids. So that makes her a very useful support for one specific team that will perform great only in the arena and Champions Arena. Other than that, as a standalone character, she has some pretty decent passives, some pretty decent buffs and debuffs to the enemies. Her abilities are nothing amazing. I think they are copy-pasted from the Unhinged Harley Quinn. And with all that being said, she's just a very unpolished character in terms of abilities. Her passives are pretty useful, but only for the Suicide Squad team, and because of the fact that she's not versatile at all, and also because of the fact that the team that she must be in is going to be only able to perform great in Arena and Champions Arena as a team, she's going to get the last spot on this list. She's not a terrible character, but she's definitely not a great character, and she will not do much for you in other teams than that team. So with all that being said, let's get to the number 7. Coming in at number 7, we are going to have Brainiac, and it's going to be more or less exactly the same story as it is with Harley Quinn. He's going to be good at one thing and one thing only, and that is supporting legendary characters. But other than Unlike Harley Quinn, he's going to be able to be placed in more than one team because there are 8 legendary characters and he can support them all. While I do know that the most optimal way to put him is with Black Manta, and he is more or less a must-have support for Black Manta. So in a way he can support pretty decently any legendary character in the game, but he's going to do the best with Black Manta, and he's going to be a must-have character in the Black Manta team. And unlike the Suicide Squad team, the Black Manta team is going to be maybe the most versatile team in the game, because it can perform amazingly in Arena, in Champions Arena, in raids, and most likely one of the best teams in solo raids as well. So yeah, well, this is a character that by himself is almost close to nothing, and he got a little bit of a huge backlash because he's the only character that you can get more or less for free because you farm him from his challenge and you also get his gear from his challenge. And a lot of people have tried to build him as a solo character, and he's simply not made for that. He is a support character for other legendary characters, and he's good at that. In terms of other things, he's going to suck. He's going to suck at everything except supporting characters, legendary characters, but that's okay because that is what he was made for. He didn't score higher on this list because all the characters above here are going to have some other purposes other than some specific niche. Harley Quinn and Brainiac were the only 2 characters on this list that were only able to do one thing, and Brainiac happens to be in the team that does that thing better. With all that being said, let's move on to the number 6. Coming in at number 6, we are going to have Suicide Squad Enchantress. She's going to be an amazing character if she's going to be put in the Suicide Squad team. But other than that, she's not going to be that amazing except for some niche applications. And I know I have put Harley Quinn much lower on this list, and the thing that is the same with both of them, they are must-have characters in the Suicide Squad team. They perform amazingly in Arena and Champions Arena, but suck in raids at solo raids. But the difference between the two of them is that Enchantress has some other niche applications. Some people have used her as damage dealer in raids without the Suicide Squad team because she's an arcane character and she can be buffed by Shazam. That didn't go extremely well, but it's somewhat of a notable feat, and at the same time she can use the third ability, if I'm not mistaken, in order to negate the hazards that are on the ground, like the dot hazards that are in phase 3 and are in the cases of some bosses and sub-bosses in solo raids. And while there are characters that are going to bring much better solutions to those needs, this is also a thing we're considering, and some people are doing that, and it's particularly useful for some other people in solo raids. With all that being said, this character is going to be a great character in the Suicide Squad team. She's going to pretty much suck in raids and solo raids, but she's going to have some niche applications over there as well. With all that being said, let's move on to the number 5. Coming in at number 5, we are going to have DARKSEID, and please don't dislike this video yet. I know DARKSEID is very hyped, I hype him as well a little bit. I really like the character. If it was in terms of design character, this guy would have been in most likely the first or the second place, because he's extremely cool looking, he's extremely badass looking, he's extremely enjoyable to play, but unfortunately the best I can do for him is going to be number 5. DARKSEID is going to perform amazingly for you in Arena and Champions Arena. He's going to be most likely more or less the best character for Arena and Champions Arena on this list, because he can do both things. He's going to be able to dish damage, he's going to be able to take damage, and he's also going to provide some supporting aspects for your team with that health barrier. Why he didn't make it higher on this list? Because unfortunately he's going to suck at raids, except for some niche builds. For DARKSEID I have one myself, and I have built him as a damage dealer, and his potential is not that high, to be honest, and I'm going to admit it. He sucks at raids and solo raids, but he's going to be amazing in Arena and Champions Arena, and he's going to fill both the roles of an offensive and defensive character depending on your needs, and more or less regardless of the build. If you go full damage, you're still going to be a little bit tanky. If you go full tank, you're still going to have some damage. And at the same time, unlike the Suicide Squad team, you are not going to need a very specific team with him. There are a lot of combinations that you can do with him, and a pretty big bonus in my book, though I don't really consider, is the fact that you get his gears when you unlock him from the achievements. So overall, this guy is going to be an amazing character to play, a great character for Arena and Champions Arena, but unfortunately he couldn't score higher because of his lackluster performance in raids and solo raids. So with all that being said, let's move on to the number 4. Coming in at number 4, we are going to have Justice League Superman. In a previous list like this that I have made, in the previous one I have put him at number 2, but a few things have changed since then. So Justice League Superman is going to be most likely the best tank in the game at the moment because of his super shield. His super shield is going to make him also have the possibility of healing other than reflecting damage and blocking a huge amount of the damage received. And if you pair him with 2 Wonder Woman characters, he's going to receive a huge buff from his passive. But the problem is with the introduction of the new Apocalypse artifacts, with the Aegis, that Superman looking armor. So yeah, Superman got deranked because of his own armor, because with the Entropy Aegis, I think it's the full name, with Entropy Aegis you don't really need any more tank characters, because that thing can make any character in the game a pretty much undefeatable tank. And other than that, he has encountered some errors since the last update with his passive that gives him either damage or health, if you pair him up with Batman characters or with Wonder Woman characters for health. Other than that, he's going to be a great character, most likely the best tank on this list for Arena and Champions Arena. He's going to have a pretty decent performance in raid if you pair him up with one Batman and Justice League Cyborg. He's going to be decent in raids and solo raids, but definitely not the best pick. He's going to be a mid-range pick as a damage dealer in raids and solo raids, and more or less you might be better off using Flash as damage dealer instead of him. But with all that being said, he's going to be a very solid character, an amazing tank, and a very good character to build up and use to great performance in most of the mods. With all that being said, let's move on to the number 3. Coming in at number 3, we are going to have Arkham Knight Batman. I think in the last list I put him at number 5, but a few things have changed since then. So first of all, let's start with the things that haven't changed. The fact that he's going to be amazing in Arena and Champions Arena because of his passive that applies to him and his teammates that makes you gain health and energy after you manage to KO an opponent. On top of that, if you are using agility or tech characters, he's also going to provide health and defense buffs for them, and he's going to also provide debuffs for himself. He can be a pretty decent damage dealer in Arena and Champions Arena, and he can be an amazing tank without being built as a tank in Arena and Champions Arena, and without saying a great support. This is like the old stuff, the stuff that was still valid before when he was on a lower spot, but since then he is also a must-have member in one of the best damage dealing teams in raids and soul raids, which is with him as a support character and Heartbreaker Harley Quinn as a damage dealer and entangling Poison Ivy. Because of the fact that he is a must-have member in this team, because he has a chance to stun raid bosses, this skyrocketed him to the 3rd spot, because on top of his great performance in Arena and Champions Arena, he is also a great character to be used in raids along with a specific team. With all that being said, he didn't score higher on this list because the team that is going to have him as support character is not the most versatile team in the entire game, because they can't fight fights like Horrific Scarecrow, where you can have only one character at a time, and they are very dependent on tagging in and out. But with all that being said, he's a great character, and a bonus, you also receive his gears from the achievements once you unlock him. With all that being said, let's get to the number 2 pick. Coming in at number 2, we are going to have Batman Ninja Gorilla Grodd, and some people might argue for him being at number 1, but in my book he is number 2. And he's number 2 for good reason, because he is a great character. He's a tick boy, okay? He can pretty much do anything. He can act like a second damage dealer in raids along Batman Ninja Catwoman in the Batman Ninja team, dealing above 1 million with his special one. He can be a great tank that is going to be able to regenerate health when getting low enough. He's going to be an amazing combo builder with his hits lowering the defense and making you gain energy. Pretty much a Dr. Fate and a classic Superman combined in one character. He's going to have an infinite combo available to him when the enemy is going to be with his back against the wall, and he's going to be a must-have and an amazing support for the Batman Ninja team. And he is so high on this list because of the versatility that this guy has. He can pretty much be put in any team in the entire game, and he will perform amazingly for them as a support character. At the same time, he can be a tank, he can be a damage dealer, he can be a support character for Batman Ninja team. He can do pretty much anything. He's going to be amazing in all the game modes. Like, though some characters on this list are going to be better than him in terms of Arena and Champions Arena, like Darkseid or Justice League Superman. But the thing is, he is good in Arena and Champions Arena, and he is amazing in raids and solo raids as a combo builder. And because of this versatility and this ability to be the best in every single situation, he is going not really the best, but very good in every single situation. He's going to score all the way to the number 2. Coming in at number 2, we have arguably the best damage dealer in the game. And you might be like, well, I'm thinking of Atlantis Aquaman do more damage than him. Yes, but is King Atlantis Aquaman also as tank as him? Nope. I have seen Heartbreaker Harley Quinn and the League of Anarchy do much more damage than him. Yes, but can they do Scarecrow and Phase 2 and Phase 4? And maybe Phase 3? Well, of course not. We have over here on our hands a character that is going to be able to fight every single boss in the entire game. He's going to also have a chance to stun them on his special 3. He's going to also be able to inflict burning with his special 2 that is going to half the defense of the enemy. And by the way, the stun on his special 3 has a chance to also apply to bosses. It's going to reduce healing and cause dot damage for when he uses an ability on an opponent, and that also applies to legendary teammates. That's going to be an amazing ability for Arena and Champions Arena, mana, and is pretty much going to one-shot gradually the enemy character. He's going to have increasing damage while he stacks his attacks. That is going to be great for rates and solo rates, and he's going to have Black Manta suit, which will make him extremely tanky. So this character is going to be hands down the best damage dealer on this list, and he's going to be on top of that extremely tanky, extremely versatile. There is absolutely no fight in the game where you could go wrong with Black Manta. There's so far more or less no character that can counter Black Manta in the game right now. He's amazing in Arena, amazing in Champions Arena, amazing in raids, and extremely amazing in solo raids. With all that being said, I think this is the best legendary and furthermore the best character in the entire game, and he is going to perform well for you no matter the situation. So with all that being said, this was my list, my updated list. I hope you found this useful or you agree with me, but if you don't agree with me, that's okay. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and you should let me know down in the comments what's your opinion. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, comment down below for any opinion or questions that you might have, subscribe for more content like this, and maybe hit that bell button. This was Sigvaldo Grim, and I'll see you in the next one.